The Brooklyn Nets beat down the Boston Celtics and officially advanced to the second round and are now matched up against the Milwaukee Bucks, in which should be a fantastic matchup. So I'm here to talk about it. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NBA, and here to talk about this matchup between the Bucks and the Nets in the second round of the NBA playoffs. If you're new to the channel, make sure to go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button because I do talk NBA on this channel. You don't want to miss out. Make sure you hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video. Guys, follow me on all my social media platforms if you have not done so already. Let's get into it. All right, so I am hyped for this series. If you cannot tell, I am super excited. This could potentially be the best series in the entire playoffs. And I'm talking whatever happens in the conference finals and potentially even in the NBA finals. We're talking about two powerhouse teams in the Bucks and the Nets, folks. Look at the star power here, right? We got the Brooklyn Nets with their big three of KD, Kyrie, and James Harden. Not to mention, you still have Blake Griffin, who, again, has been a multiple-time All-Star, even though he is a shell of his former self. And then on the Bucks side of things, you've got Giannis, two-time NBA MVP. You've got Chris Middleton, who is an all-star. You've got Drew Holiday, one of the best two-way guards in the league. And then solid supporting cast with guys like Brook Lopez and etc. So this is going to be fun to watch. The games in the regular season were so tight, so close. And you know that's what's going to happen in this matchup. So let's take a look at this series and what I'm looking for, all right? When I'm taking a look at this series and who's going to win, it all has to do with matchups, right? That's the biggest thing. And can one team or the other take advantage of each other's weakness, right? And so that is the biggest focus. And I'll start with the Bucks side of things here in terms of Giannis and talk about, okay, Giannis is the main guy that the Brooklyn Nets have to neutralize, right? And so we saw that the Toronto Raptors, back when they won the chip a few years ago, neutralized Giannis by building a wall in front of him, metaphorically speaking, of course, with guys like Marc Gasol, Serge Ibaka, and, of course, Kawhi Leonard. So Kawhi would essentially keep him in check on the perimeter, but if he got past him, you got Gasol, you got Ibaka, you got bodies like that to stop Giannis from dominating because we know he wants to get into the paint. Can the Nets do that? Do they have the requisite bodies? Not really, right? So they're very weak at the center position. You got Blake Griffin, who starts at center for them. Again, we know Blake's not a big body in terms of a guy who can provide that size, and he's certainly not a good defender at all. And then behind him, you have Nick Claxton, who's a young guy. He's just not ready yet, right? He can be solid, and then DeAndre Jordan's been pretty much out of the rotation. So then obviously you have other guys that are, not even like play the center position, like a Jeff Green, who's played the 4 and the 5. I'm not sure if he's going to be back for this series. He's been out for a little bit, but the Nets are very much lacking in size. We know that. And so that is advantage to the Milwaukee Bucks because Giannis should be able to do whatever he wants when he gets to the paint. Now, will KD be on Giannis this series? Because that's going to be asking a lot from Kevin Durant. And if he's not, then who? Who's going to be taking Giannis? So defensively, this is a huge problem for the Brooklyn Nets because they are going to struggle defensively. But you take a look at the other side of things here. Can the Bucks stop the Nets on offense, right? Because you've got KD, Kyrie, and James Harden. But the good thing for the Bucks is they do have some good individual defenders. Drew Holiday can certainly take on James Harden or Kyrie Irving. I would imagine he probably takes James Harden playing the point guard position. And then I mentioned Giannis. Will he check Kevin Durant? Because Giannis completely shut down Jimmy Butler in the first round. Jimmy Butler was completely neutralized whenever Giannis was on him. So you know Giannis, who's a very good defender, can do that. But KD is a different beast. Kevin Durant compared to Jimmy Butler, I mean, I love Jimmy, but he is not Kevin Durant. All right? So Kevin Durant can get a shot up against anybody. And then, of course, Kyrie Irving's still there who can get buckets. Maybe you have Chris Middleton there. I'm not sure if he's going to be guarding him. So a lot of different things here with regards to the matchups here. But what I'm seeing from the matchup is the Nets aren't very good defensively. And so they're going to struggle. And so the only way for them to win the series is to just absolutely put up as many points as possible. Taking a look at the other side of things here, the Bucks look like they do have the horses to keep up and try to neutralize the Stars because, again, you're not going to stop these guys. So can you neutralize them? Yes. And then you take into account home court advantage. Yeah, the Nets were the second seed, so they are going to have home court advantage. And folks, look, I think this is going to be a very tight series, very close series. And to me, I think you guys know if you watch my previews video of the playoffs that I believe the Nets are going to win the NBA championship. They just have too much firepower. And as much as I think that Milwaukee has a little bit more of an advantage when you look at the matchups, I have to still go with the Brooklyn Nets. But the only reason here is I am betting on better offense over good defense. You know, you hear the term, right? Great defense, but better offense. That's exactly what I'm expecting in this series where the Milwaukee Bucks will try. They'll try as much as they can, but you can only stop, slow, or neutralize these guys for so long. KD, Kyrie, and Harden can all get their buckets at any time. They're not just good scorers. They're not just great scorers. They're elite scorers, each and every single one of them. So you shut down one, you're not going to shut down all three. So to me, I will go with the Brooklyn Nets in a very, very tight, close 7-game series. I am betting on the Nets offense over the Bucks defense. So there you have, folks, my preview for the Bucks versus the Nets. The Bucks lose the series. The Nets win in 7 games, but I could certainly see Milwaukee beating them because I do think they match up better than people think. So let me know what you guys think. Who do you have winning this series? Leave a comment down below if you agree or disagree. As always, thanks for watching.